fuck this shit. I really don't want to do this. Alright. Okay, I've been on YouTube for a while now, and I've come across a group of YouTubers I like to classify as fake positives. It's a group of YouTubers you've seen, like the Gabbie Brothers and Lily Singh, who promote this idea of positivity, which initially sounds really good. I'm for positive, but when you watch their content, something feels off. Something just doesn't feel right. You start to realize it doesn't feel very genuine. It feels incredibly fake. And I think that's because most of these YouTubers use this idea of positivity as a shield against any type of criticism or self-evaluation. It's why when Cody Cole makes a video making fun of the Gabbie Brothers, they retaliate with saying, he's such a bully and we're gonna fight him.
Honestly, I don't want to give this kid any more clout because he doesn't even deserve one subscriber for what he's doing. He's spreading negativity. He's making fun of kids. He's making fun of, like I said, everyone, my whole family. But let's see if you can walk the talk. I challenge you to a boxing match. We're gonna settle this through sport. Me versus you. I don't care what weight class, no headgear, and I'm gonna give meaning to your last name, KO, because that's what I'm gonna do to you.
It's why Lily Singh's monologues on her show is all about how people can't handle her, and when a show gets canceled, it's specifically because the people aren't just ready for her. It's this narcissism masking positivity. It's used against any real self-evaluation. Anybody that criticizes you, it can't be because your art's actually bad, because your art's amazing. It has to be that anybody who's really criticizing you is just bad. It's just hateful. They just don't want to see you win. That's pretty stupid, because if you look at bigger YouTubers like PewDiePie, who's the biggest YouTuber with over 100 million subscribers, way past any other YouTubers, he doesn't get shit out nearly as much. And that's because there's something genuine about him. It feels as if we're watching a real person. What bugs me the most is most of these creators are influencing kids, and they're giving off this really terrible message. They're standing up there like as if they're these role models. They pretend as if they hold themselves to this high standard and they're on this high horse, but in actuality they're just a group of narcissists who, if you actually met them in real life, would never want to hang out with these people. So that all being said, I don't think there's a better example that exemplifies this concept than in Gabbie Hanna's new video. She talks about the criticism behind her book, and instead of actually taking the time to look at the overwhelming criticism and have a moment of self-actualization, try to look into yourself and see if there's anything that you really can improve on. It's just her pretty much saying you didn't get the book. It's just this lack of self-awareness is fascinating. We're gonna take a look and let's do this.
I want to start by saying this. I'm a public figure and I put out my art publicly. By doing that, I am fully open to reviews and thus criticism. This is not new. There are people who make videos and articles tearing apart Quentin Tarantino, saying he's a terrible director. He's still one of the most famous and respected filmmakers of all time.
Fuck this shit. Bitch, you ain't Tarantino. And then you got me fucking just calling women bitches, and I don't condone that type of behavior, but just, dude, you're at a 10 right now. I need you to come down to a 6. I know it's just fucking, I know, just breathe. And I know how to fucking breathe. Okay, look, I'm just trying to help. I know, I'm sorry, you're right. Whew, okay. I'm incredibly sorry about that. That was incredibly unprofessional. I don't condone that type of behavior, but at least that's over. At least all the comparisons are done, so let's continue.
I've seen videos saying that Ariana Grande's voice is in vocal decline. It is not. She's still one of the most recognizable and powerful voices of our generation, hands down. I literally just heard Gordon Ramsay talk on Hot Ones about a food critic that he absolutely hates because he wrote a review saying that Gordon Ramsay's food is terrible. It's Gordon Ramsay.
Anybody else you want to compare yourself to? How about MLK, huh? He was assassinated for being the head of the civil rights movement, and I wrote a book about poetry, so I understand the plight. Fuck people. How about we just skip straight to God? God shit out all the time, and he's still hella popular. If he had an Instagram account, he'd be crushing it. It's just...
He's one of the most renowned chefs in the world. Now, this is obviously not to say that I'm on the same level or of the same caliber as Quentin Tarantino, Ariana Grande, or Gordon Ramsay.
But you are. You absolutely are. You're talking about people, and then you're comparing yourself to them and their situation. It's just...
But it does go to show that people will have differing opinions. And just because you like something that someone doesn't like, or you don't like something that someone does like, doesn't make it inherently good or bad. That is what art is. It's subjective.
Yeah, no, I know all this. I know how criticism works. I get it constantly. From friends, from family. I mean, look at this face. I mean, you're not born with a face like this and don't get a spoonful of criticism on a daily basis. It's just... There is no reason for her to be explaining these very obvious ideas unless she's really just trying to convince herself. She's telling herself this to convince herself that she's still an amazing artist.
I'm not creating for people who don't like my stuff. I'm creating for people who do. I don't read young adult novels because they're not for me. I was too old to enjoy the Hunger Games in their entirety when they came out. It's just not for me. I also don't read or watch science fiction because it's just not for me. I also don't watch The Bachelor because it's just not for me. And you could argue why The Bachelor is bad, but it's still like the #1 TV show in America because a lot of people still like it. There's clearly an audience, it's just not you. So if I don't like something, does that make it bad? No. It's a matter of preference, and that's art, baby!
Oh yeah, I'm just trying to figure out the level of gymnastics this woman is pulling. My God, anything to get around the fact that she might have written shit. It's just these empty platitude ideas that are incredibly obvious. We all know them.
This book is very, very special to me. It's a very misunderstood book, and I'll get to that.
I love she just slips that in there. It's just misunderstood. It's just you guys don't get it. That's all it is. It's just every which way to convince herself that she hasn't fucked up, that she hasn't written shit.
So this book was very adult themes written from the lens of a child, or written through the lens of children's poems. I'm talking about very adult feelings like suicide, depression, anxiety, mental health, eating disorders, assault, and abuse the way a child would, or in a way that is easier for a child to understand.
I don't know if I really buy this idea that it was written from a child's perspective. Or even if it was, I think this just feels like another cop-out. It feels as if she's not a very good writer, and so she just decided, hey, I'll write it as a child, you know, so that nobody could really criticize my work because it's from the work of a child. It's a tool to protect yourself from any actual criticism because it's like, well, look, it's from the perspective of a kid, you know, it's not meant to be adult stuff, so... You know, don't take it too serious. That's the way I look at it.
Sorry, I'm getting emotional because I've never opened up about my trauma or been as transparent as I wish I could be or as people would like me to be because I have a very difficult time talking about it, like I said, even in therapy. So this book was the first step for me to be able to, vocalize and verbalize some things in a way that I could veil it in humor and lightheartedness, but still be able to tell my secrets without oversharing or hurting other people.
Now, look, this is gonna sound harsh, but I just don't particularly buy it. Look, she could have gone through a lot of trauma. I'm not taking that away from her, but it feels like she's trying to make you empathize with her so that you can maybe take a second look or not be so harsh on her. And if you don't think I'm right, check out what she says.
But beyond all this, I guess my one thing that I would ask of you guys as readers is please just read it the way it's meant to be read, which is a light, enjoyable, digestible read.
Look, guys, it's pretty simple. Just read the book the way I want you to read the book. It's not that the book may be shit, you're just a bunch of idiots who are not getting it. It's just incredibly egotistical. And didn't you just say before that art can be interpreted any which way? It doesn't make any sense. I don't think it's that we're misunderstanding or not interpreting it. It's just people are saying that they don't like the book. They don't like what you've written. It's not clever. It's not written well. It's not very complicated.
People aren't scrambling very often to read the Iliad or the Odyssey. They're great works, but it's not what people want to sit down and read. I assume, if it's anything like when I was in school, most students aren't jumping for joy when they're assigned Shakespeare.
No, I'm not surprised at this point. Shakespeare, the greatest playwright of all time. No, I'm not surprised. I'm impressed, actually. The balls on this woman to just shit on Shakespeare. I mean, that just takes a big pair of balls. So I'm more in awe of this woman at this point.
Poetry, like YouTube and music and everything else, evolves. You have to evolve with it. That's why Vine was so popular, because it was short, easily digestible, 6 seconds at a time. So I wrote short, easily digestible, relatable poems that people want to read and what I want to write.
You want to compare yourself to Vine? You mean the app that was used for an incredibly brief time and then totally shut down? You really want to compare yourself with that app? Okay.
So, all this to say, go pre-order my book. Yes, I've obviously seen the talk around my book. Yes, I do agree that there's a lot that could have been done better. Just like my old music isn't as good as my new music. People improve, and yes, I would say that Dandelion is a massive step up, and my editors and publishers agree. I'm very proud of Dandelion in the topics covered, in the writing, and especially in the illustration. I'm so proud of my artwork. I'm so blown away by myself and my growth, and I'm so excited to share that with you.
I just want to make sure this is a big enough pat on the back for you. Yeah.
I didn't watch a video about my book, and it's not because I can't take constructive criticism. I beg for it. I send each poem, each drawing, each demo of each song to 10 to 15 people because I'm so insecure about my work. And I ask, how can this be better? I've scrapped a ton of poems from both books. I've scrapped entire drawings. I've scrapped entire songs because they weren't up to par. I am constantly asking my colleagues and my peers, how can I be better?
Okay, so this is a similar point that I made when I made the video about Lily Singh. Go check that down in my channel. Just this incredible unself-awareness to pretend as if your greatest strength is being able to do something that you're terrible at. Gabbie Hanna is terrible at taking criticism, but she pretends as if she's amazing at it. Yes, you're really good at it when you're going to your colleagues, when you're going to people who like your content and you're asking them, but you know that they're going to give you validation. I guarantee she does not have any friends that are actually going to sit down and tell her the truth. You are terrible at taking constructive criticism from people that actually can give it to you.
But in what world would it make sense for me to click a video that says Gabbie Hanna is terrible, or Gabbie Hanna can't write, or Gabbie Hanna's poetry is bad, whatever it is? Because at some point I feel like people really started hiding behind the term constructive criticism while removing the constructive part and leaving only criticism. But constructive criticism doesn't belittle people, it doesn't name call people, it doesn't say that your work is bad or terrible, or tell somebody that they can't or shouldn't be doing something.
No, it very much can. That's what I'm saying. She's living in a bubble here. It absolutely can say, hey, here's some constructive criticism. You're not very good at this. It could be belittling you. It could feel bad. That is my point. You are living in a bubble where the people around you are telling you what you want to hear. The best constructive criticism sometimes is things you really don't want to hear, but you feel like you have to in order to improve. And she admits the fact that she doesn't really want to hear good criticism.
And there might have been really sound advice in those videos, but I don't know that. Because I'm not going to click onto a video that's saying that I'm bad or not talented, because to me, that says that the intention of the video was more for entertainment and less for trying to help me grow as an artist.
I'm sorry, I'm trying not to go after individual YouTubers. I really am, but something like this, it just bugs the shit out of me, because these people are role models for kids and they're giving over this terrible concept. If you ever want to accomplish anything in life, you're going to have to surround yourself with not a bunch of yes men, the way Gabbie Hanna, Lily Singh, and all these other creators do. You're going to have people around you that are going to be straight with you. And not that they're going to shit on you, but are actually going to tell you the truth. With people like Gabbie Hanna and Lily Singh, they don't want to hear the truth. They just want to be validated. And it's why they never actually get much better. And it's incredibly frustrating when I hear these creators who pretend as if they're on this high horse. It's narcissistic, it's frustrating, and it's a terrible lesson to give over to kids. I don't hate Gabbie Hanna, but I am frustrated by these YouTubers with no self-awareness. I just want to let her know that she should watch some of these videos if she really wants to get better. But I don't think she is. Okay, we got through it. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. Can really use it. Yeah, can really use the subscribers, guys. That would mean the world to me. And let me know down below what you liked about it and what you didn't like about it. And I'll look at the comments and really try to be introspective. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, because you deserve it.